Well guys, as the title of the video suggests, my PR7 is not mine anymore. So after nearly 2,000 miles on the PR7, it's now gone. So I thought what I'd do is tell you the good and the bad and the bike, and then I'll tell you why I got rid of such a brilliant bike. So I'm really conscious that people watch these videos and they make buying decisions off the back of them, and that's exactly what I did. So I want to try and provide you with the best information I can so that you can make your best decision when it comes to spending your money. So the good things about that bike, number one, it is very comfortable. So if you're considering this as a lightweight adventure bike, you plan on traveling on this thing, I'm absolutely sure that you won't be disappointed. This thing, the seat itself is fantastic. The wind protection is brilliant. The position of the bars are brilliant. So you can sit on this bike all day, and I'm confident that your bum will stay intact the whole way. It's brilliant for that. So that's one massive plus to the bike that I think you should know when you're making the decision. The second thing is the reliability of the bike, because everybody, and this is more apparent when I came to sell the bike, everybody wants to know about the reliability, the servicing, and where they can get parts and such. So I had zero mechanical problems with the bike. It has ran perfectly my entire ownership. The battery went dead, my fault. That's about as mechanically problematic it was. I know I only did 2,000 miles, but yeah, those 2,000 miles were without a single hitch. Although I would say that my dealer was Sportax Racing, and let me tell you, they cannot do more for you. If you have any issues at all, they will work really hard to get it sorted. They stock loads of parts, and I don't think you will be disappointed with the service you receive from them. I've also seen recently that Motorrad Connection have become main dealers for them too, and from speaking to people with first-hand experience of using Motorrad Connection, I never have. Again, super impressed with how they deal with things, any problems you may have. A lot of people bought the Coveys from them, and they've been fantastic. So I think you can trust both those guys that you will get an excellent service, and they will help you with anything that you need. So don't worry if you're in the UK. Don't worry about servicing parts, advice. You are covered, and you'll get great service from those guys. They might be a bit of a trek from you, but you're going to get good service from them. So on to less boring things. How did the thing ride? And it is a fantastic bike. You might see here that something else has appeared in the garage that isn't a PR7, and this is a full-blown enduro bike. And let me tell you, I expected the difference off-road to be night and day, and it wasn't night and day. I'm not going to say that this didn't feel different. It's much lighter and all the rest of it, but I was expecting to get on this bike and feel like the AJP was a big old rig, and it just didn't. It made me go, wow, that PR7 was shocking good off-road. The grip, the traction, the lightness, the way it turns. I mean, the PR7 is fantastic. Most recent thing that I did that was interesting on the bike was I went and did the Rally Moto Dark Skies Rally, which was 3 different rally stages, day, night, day, of all forest trails all throughout. A little bit of single tracky stuff along the way, but mostly open trails. And I think that in that environment, the PR7 is almost untouchable. It's almost the perfect bike for that kind of terrain. The motor on the bike will lug well. So when we were on super tight single track stuff, that motor did not want to stall. I could run it at really low revs, really low gears, and feel like I had absolute control on and off the throttle to deal with ruts, greasy wet patches, greasy grass everywhere. It was fantastic. So low speed, really happy with it. But when this thing opens up and you keep the revs high, it is an absolute rocket. And on that open terrain where you can wind it on those gravelly tracks, it was just the best. It absolutely takes off. Very predictable. It's not like shooting out your hands, but boy, does it pull. So if that's your type of riding and you want to push onto trails, or you're interested in rallying, I think that you will love the performance of the bike. So low speed, high speed, absolutely brilliant. So we've done comfort, we've done reliability, we've done performance, all 3 fantastic things I want to tell you about what I felt on the bad side of things, but there really isn't a lot. So the tablet that mine was provided with was rubbish. I got rid of it almost immediately, switched to a Garmin. Yeah, it was essentially in my eyes because I went out in the rain, the tablet didn't work, and it was pretty much unresponsive. Even when you put your fingers on the screen, it would jump everywhere. So it was a nightmare. I couldn't see, it wasn't quite bright enough in bright sunlight, so ditched that. That was a bad thing on it. Everyone talks about that, and that was my experience as well. The second thing was the placement of the exhaust, and I highlighted this. Well, let me run the clip back now. The exhaust routing is just a little bit poor. It runs right at the bottom of that skid plate, absolutely fine, but there's minimal clearance there. And when you get onto the balls of your feet and drop your heels when you get off-road to try and get in a decent position, your heel touches the exhaust. Now that should never happen. That should be well out of the way. It should trail back a little further. You know, I'm no engineer, but to me, that should be sorted. I shouldn't be hitting my heel on that. And it is very, very close to that skid plate. I've uprated the skid plate a little bit. And if it hits anything major, the exhaust is going to get hammering. So all that beautiful, beautiful blue titanium will get damaged at some point. It's inevitable. I just hope it's not too bad. So yeah, I highlighted that I thought that would be a problem, and it was a problem. What a stupid place to run the exhaust. I mean, all that money on that titanium exhaust, all for it to be smashed into and leaving a dent in the exhaust there in the right before the back pipe. So I wish I could tell you where that happened to. You know, like if I'd have physically like dropped it, picked it up and gone, oh no, here we go. I didn't really do that. So it makes me think that I either caught it on something in passing or something has flicked up and banged it. I'm not quite sure. I just got home one day and it was there and I didn't have any significant drops or anything. So yeah, a bit of a shame really. That part of the exhaust needs some protection. So yeah, poor. The third thing I would say is that when you press that suspension quite hard, you felt, how do I describe this? That I blew through a lot of travel. Yeah, if it came off a hit, bush, and it has a feeling of whoa, whoa, whoa. It like settled into its travel after a bigger hit. So I think that's where, obviously, I could have changed the springing on it if I'd have sprung it to my weight a little more, although it was in spec. I did the sag, all the rest of it. It was in spec. If I'd have maybe spent a little bit more time putting a different spring in it, I could have alleviated that and firmed it up a little bit, but then you're compromising on its travel ability. So it's a hard one there, but the suspension to me felt a little bit soft, and that might be worth considering. I'm 88 kilo with gear on. I'm probably going to be early 90s. So see if that suits you, and if you're bigger than me, you're definitely going to need to do something about that if you're charging pretty hard. And then the last thing, and this is a kind of a weird one, is the resale on the thing. It was awkward to sell. I think that is because it is a niche product. It's a tiny brand, tiny dealer network. People had a lot of questions about it. Like, I've never sold a bike and had more people want to call me to discuss it. I had lots of interest in it, but people lowballing me, and yeah, I felt that I took a little bit of a hit on the amount I had to sell it for. I think it was worth a little bit more than I got for it, but it was pretty apparent that if I wanted to get it moved on, that was what I was going to have to do. So if you're thinking of buying one of these, and I would also say a Cove, people don't trust the brand, and so people aren't going to pay big money for it. It's not going to hold its value like I think you would expect a T7 to do. If you try and buy a used T7 now, you're still paying big money for them. I mean, I've looked at them myself and I just can't bring myself to spend that money on a bike of its age and mileage that they've done. So yeah, residual value isn't as good as I think I expected it to be, but might not be a problem for you if you're going to keep a bike for ages. Not a big deal. So that is the good and the bad of the bike. Overwhelmingly, I think it's a fantastic bike, and if you're into the kind of riding I described earlier, sort of the open stuff, or if you are traveling, I think you are hard pushed to find a better bike than a PR7. It was brilliant, brilliant, brilliant bike. So if it was so brilliant, why have I sold it? So I sold this bike because I'm an idiot. No, No, that's not it. So if you follow along to the channel, I've had my second kid recently. I'm now a father of 2, boy and girl, and I bought the PR7 with the intentions of traveling. I got all romantic about ideas of doing the tech, going to Spain, doing some tech, going to Portugal, doing some tech, going around the south of England, doing tech, right? And there's no chance I'm getting that done anytime soon. 2 kids is a nightmare. Like, why didn't people tell you this? It is difficult, and time isn't, I haven't got a lot of time. And me disappearing off for 5 days a week will end in problems for me in the ear from the other half. So that's kind of the big thing. I felt that I was on the perfect travel bike while not traveling anywhere. There's some situations with the kind of riding I do, with me only having a day here, a day there, that I felt like I was a bit overbiked. I was watching everybody around me, the people who I ride with, everybody riding enduro bikes, and then I'm there on the PR7, and I felt like I'd got too much bike for it. I suppose a negative I could say is that when you've got that rally tire up the front and a turning circle that is not big, by the way, the turning circle is poor. What am I trying to describe here? Whatever that means, the bump stops on the thing, stop the handlebars from turning much. So it was a pain in the bum. So I'm out there with small bikes and feeling like might as well have been on a GS at times in the tight stuff, but that isn't what it's for. And that's where I found myself. I found myself going on 1-day green laning trips on a bike that felt big. Now, the reality was that although it felt big, I went everywhere that they went. There's not been a scenario where I've been out in Wales, in the Peak District. Well, they're the main 2 places I go, but there hasn't been a scenario where I haven't got where I needed to go. I've not been hindered by the size of the bike, but I guess it's the way that the bike does it. I think with me riding trials as sort of like my main biking hobby, I like the feeling of a playful bike, a bike that I can put where I want to put. If I want to change direction, if I want to get from that rut to that rut, that I can just do that. And that isn't what a PR7 is. It doesn't want to change direction super quickly. And in the tighter stuff or in the slower, super slow stuff, it isn't as maneuverable as I would like it to be. And so over time that was getting in my head. I'm thinking, perfect travel bike, not going anywhere. And when I go out, everyone else is making lighter work of what I do. And I think that's what adventure bikes do. When I watch people ride adventure bikes, it's very much a feeling of you're riding through the terrain. You pick your line and you bash that bike through that terrain. You hold the revs on, you rev the nuts off the thing to get over hard technical stuff. And I don't like that type of riding. I'm not a hard enduro rider. I like to pick my line and feel like I can be playful. And I don't think that that's what a PR7 feels like. It feels like a rally bike. I know that's what it is. It's a rally bike, but it very much feels like that. Open terrain is a PR7's friend, not slow, tight terrain. And that is pretty much it, the reason why I sold the PR7. It's a fantastic bike. Just make sure that it's the right bike for the kind of riding you're doing. If you are going to go and do tech travel, if you're doing multi-day trips, if you want one bike that will take you to ABR when you live miles away, and then on the way back go to Wales and ride stuff all the way back, you're not going to find a great deal better. I've just got a 1 day here, 1 day there, 1 day here. Multi-day trips are out for me for now. So there you go. It's sad, but I'm not one for getting too precious about this sort of thing. Bikes will come and go. My brain can't leave me alone. I'm always looking at something else. And don't think that I'm now just got an enduro bike and I'm going to treat it like an enduro bike. Right behind this camera here is a workbench full of stuff that's going to go onto this. And I got a little bit overexcited. The budget went out the window, and I've bought quite a lot for it. So if you're into that sort of stuff, and if you've enjoyed the content that we've already done, I think you're very much going to like this, because this thing, I'm not going to tell you quite what it is, although you can figure some of it out. This thing is going to be pretty special. I've gone all out to build what I see is going to be my dream ultra lightweight adventure rally bike. Notice I can't leave the rally bit alone, because the rally stuff is some of the most fun riding I've done on a bike. So if you do like that, subscribe to the channel, lots of videos coming up. There's going to be a 2-part build series. Then I get to go and ride the bike. So yeah, it should be really fun. So definitely like, comment, subscribe, and let's see the next chapter of what I'm doing on a bike. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that was helpful in some way. See you later.